Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Card Talk, a podcast where we spend a little bit of time talking about cards from Lord of the Rings, the card game. I'm your host, Dave Walsh, and today we are doing a run-through, a playthrough. So Grant's not with us. He's doing whatever Grant does when he's not hanging out with me. And today I actually had an interesting find. For anybody who doesn't know, which probably many of you do, but I will still show it to you here. You can go to the Discord, COTR Discord server. You can find their link, and there's all sorts of things. But you can go to the Ask Bot, and you can get a random quest by just asking it for a quest. You have to ask it by putting an exclamation point in there. And so what I wanted to do is test this deck out against a random quest. And I found something interesting with all my cards here. I'll get to it in a minute, but I didn't want to play a Saga quest because it's the road to Isengard. So, and then I also didn't want to play something from the Return to Mirkwood cycle, or the Shadows of Mirkwood cycle, the Dead Marshes. So I picked the Treachery. So I got the Treachery of Rhudaur. And the funny thing is that I was going through and digging out the Treachery of Rhudaur, and I found that I hadn't played this quest. How do I know? Because the cards were all in order, not the ones that are made to build the quest. Not the two from the deluxe expansion, but the encounter set was all in order from 1 to 29 or 1 to 30 or however many cards there are in that. So it's kind of funny. I may have played it online, but apparently I've never played this live. There was a point at which I was trying to catch up with all the content, and so maybe I missed one. I looked at Across the Antmoors. I've played that live. I've played that online even. So who knows? So I guess I'm going to do the Treachery of Rhudaur, and I'm going to do a blind. I haven't studied the deck. I kind of know what's going on. I know the cycle. I know the spoiler about a Marthiel, but I won't ruin that here. But today's deck, I'm using a Dwarf mining deck with the most recent hero of Dying Ironfoot, where you get to discard cards to buff his defense. I really got interested in the Dwarf mining thing. I used to have a version of a Dwarf mining deck using Gandalf, because Gandalf, you could hero Gandalf, you could have the card being played face up, and then you knew what you were discarding and stuff like that. This is a new, slimmer version. There's only 51 cards in this deck. And it's got all the typical mining cards that you would see. Plus, it's got like the Ring of Thror, which just came out in the latest adventure pack, Ghost of Framsburg. And so I wanted to mix up my play style. Actually, I've been playing this deck a little bit, and I figured that I'm getting too Sylvan-esque. I'm finding too much that I'm using Sylvans too much, and I need to vary my play style a little bit. So that's what this is. You can tell I haven't sleeved the cards, so that means that I'm not necessarily 100% happy with the deck, but we'll go from there. So the three heroes that I'm using are Owen. I picked Owen because he can, Owen, make sure I pronounce it correctly, because after he gets 5 dwarves out, he gets an extra attack, and he gets the tactics icon. And tactics is too strong a sphere to not include in a dwarf deck, I think. Even this kind of deck. So I have like the Erebor Battlemaster and the Dwarf Axe. I've been thinking and toying around with the idea of putting Khazad in here. So those are some of the tactics cards. I have Thorin because I need the resource acceleration, and then that also gives me into the the leadership sphere, so I can play a very good tail. A very good tail is a good card to run in a dwarf mining deck. And then I have, of course, Dime. He's the kind of the inspiration behind this deck. So I've shuffled up, and again, the proper order is you shuffle up and you get your hand set before you do any of the setup for this. Now, I did the 1A setup because I shuffled this off camera too, but so we'll see what I get in my hand. I know from playing this what I don't want in my hand. I don't want to see like Arid Luin Miner. I don't want to see Hidden Cache. I don't want to see other cards that that play for free after you discard. Okay, so but I did get a copy of Thor's Ring, and look, so like there's the Erebor Battlemaster. He's good. The Dwarf Shield is good. But the Arid Luin Miner, I don't necessarily want to see. Hidden Cache, but I like Thor's Ring. So you know what? I'm gonna mulligan this. There's too many good cards. I like to see Unexpected Courage. I have 3 of those. Other cards I have in the deck are Gimli. I have the Imladris Stargazer, which I'm debating on whether I should keep or not keep. Because I don't know if it matters if I know what order they're coming in. I have a couple Wills of the West to shuffle my discard pile back into my deck, and so that's always nice. I already mentioned a very good tail. I have Ally Gimli that readies when an enemy is taken off the encounter deck. So I have a lot of dwarves. I have Feely and Keely. I think that's a almost auto include when you're running a dwarf deck and you have leadership. Or Spirit, and I'm running both Leadership and Spirit. So, okay, so here's my 7 cards. Let's just do 6. I'll try to follow the rules as best I can here, and then let's see what I got here. So I have the Erebor Guard, which is great because I get to bring him out for 2 and discard cards. I have an Erebor Battlemaster, a very good tail. I have an Erebor Guard, a Ziggle Miner, and a King Under the Mountain. So this actually works out to be really good, in my opinion. Okay, because I can bring this guy out and use a very good tail eventually, and that's going to really boost up these guys. So I think that this is one of the better opening hands that I could possibly have in here. And then King Under the Mountain kind of accelerates the mining thing. When we say mining, for those people who don't know, dwarf mining is when you're actually discarding cards from your deck. You're kind of digging through your deck to find cards that you want. Or maybe not even necessarily finding cards that you want, but just using your cards in your deck as an extra added resource so that you can use it to buff Dane or use it to get other cards in play and things like that. So that's what dwarf mining means. Okay, so let's look at the Treachery of Rhudaur, side 1A. Okay, and it says, make the Great Hall the active location. It says, set Thardir aside. Tharadir, right? It's hard to pronounce those strange, weird names. Okay, out of play, so I did that. This is out of play. And it says, add the 3 Treachery of Rhudaur side quests. So here are the side quests. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is that these are double-sided, so there's stuff on the back. But here are the 3 Treachery of Rhudaur side quests, as indicated by the encounter set icon here. There's other side quests, but you just want the 3 that come from the Treachery of Rhudaur. And then it says 1 copy of Ancient Causeway here. And add it to the staging area, 2 copies. So that's good. So now 1B, it says time 5. Oh, right. Okay, so this is when I'm like, oh yeah, this is how this works. Okay, not necessarily this quest. Like I said, I haven't played this quest, but isn't it always fun when you have these quests that you are like this? It says, after the last time counter is removed from Secrets of Rhudaur, which is this quest card, remove the Treachery of Rhudaur side quest from the game and immediately advance to stage 2. It says, during the quest phase, Secrets of Rhudaur cannot be chosen as the current quest. And then it says, if there are no Treachery of Rhudaur side quests in play, immediately advance to quest stage 2. Okay, so this is timed 5, And so I actually really enjoy these quests where there's more cards and setup, because it kind of helps tell the narrative of what's going on. Okay, so side quest mechanics. Okay, I kept them in the staging area just because that's what the rules said. But side quest mechanics are when there's a side quest in play, you pick which side quest you want to travel to. And so I guess I'm going to pick one of these guys. It says, after the last time counter is removed from Secrets of Rhudaur, remove each Treachery of Rhudaur side quest from the game. Okay, so we have, this is time 5, so we have 5 rounds to get through these 3 side quests, hopefully. Now, my experience is that this particular Dwarf deck isn't necessarily the best questing deck, but it has some potential. If I can get enough dwarves out, I can kind of overrun the questing as opposed to like having 1 or 2 huge questers. So I guess it's time to get started. Okay, so I'm going to draw my card. It's Will of the West. That's a great card to have in my hand, okay, because I want to be able to use that when my deck is getting thin to be able to shuffle my cards back into my hand. Okay, so I'm going to first bring out the Erebor Guard. I'm going to pay the 2, and I am going to discard 2 to reduce its cost. Okay. Again, so using cards in your deck as a resource. Okay. Now I don't have the ring of Thror. That's okay. I found that it's not necessarily vital for this to go off, but whatever. We'll see what happens. Okay. So that's 4 dwarves towards my 5 dwarf minimum here to get things going. Next round, I definitely will have 5 dwarves, and life will be good. Okay, but I need to quest. Okay, some unexpected courages would be nice, which is why Thor's ring of Thror is really good. Okay. Go. As always, whenever we're playing this, whenever I'm playing a quest, feel free to make comments if I make a mistake. People are quick to point those out. I'm not doing this as my 1 deck run, but I bet you I will be soon. Yeah. So feel free to make comments. And don't forget, you can find us at where can you find us? You can find us on YouTube. If you found this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have well over 100 videos, all centered around Lord of the Rings, the card game, and so it'll be fun. Anyways, let's get going. So now we need to quest. So I am going to quest with Amarthiel, and then Oin and Thorin. So I'm going to quest for 6. And right now in the staging area, there is 3 threat. I guess I have to pick a side quest that I want to do. So I'm going to pick Decipher Ancient Texts. Okay, so I'm going to put the 1 ring on that as my quest that I am picking. Okay, so that way it's clear to you which one. And I won't change that. Okay, now that quest doesn't become necessarily active during the rest of the phase, but at least you know which one I picked. Okay, so that's 6. So I'm going to flip the card here. So now this is a location. It says, after the when revealed effect of a treachery card is canceled, raise each player's threat by 2. Okay, so that's wild. Because it makes everything else make a decision for you. This game, it's really funny. I'm not going to go on too much of a rant, but I will say that I was listening to some podcasts, and these are old podcasts from earlier in the game, and they talk about how the game is full of chance. And so I feel like that's true to a degree, but I also feel like the game is filled with decisions that you have to make. And so I feel like that's what your deck is doing. Your deck, it's like a game of poker. Yeah, there's some chance about which cards you get, but poker isn't so much playing your cards. It's more like making the right decisions based on the information that you can control, the information that people give you. And so by turning this card over, this card makes this so now I don't have any cancellation in here, but if I did, now I'd have to make the decision. Can I afford the threat? Do I want to afford the threat? What the heck is going on with it? So that's what I love about this game, is that every turn there's decisions that you have to make, and you have to make the right one or else you're going to lose. And this game is relentless for making you lose for making bad decisions. I quested for 6. There's 5 in the staging area, so I make 1 progress on the Great Hall. Okay. So now I'm going to pray that I don't get landlocked here. Okay. Landlocked. Location locked is really what it's called. Location lock is when you have too many locations building up in the staging area so that you can't actually make any progress on the quest that you need to do. Now, if that ends up happening, fortunately there's a time counter here, and I can maybe move on to stage 2 here, and life will be good. But who knows? Okay, so I did everything I didn't need to do. So now I get a Soldier of Erebor. Now this card is really expensive, and he doesn't quest. He doesn't help me very much. But the reason why I want him is in late game, I may have a lot of extra resources, and plus it helps accelerate the mining aspect of this. So it may be worth having him in play. Okay, but I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to pay 2. Okay, so now I have the tactics and an extra attack, but I'm going to discard 2. And I didn't get anything worth discarding. But then I'm going to pay. I'm going to do a very good tail. Okay. So now a very good tail says exhaust 2 allies and then shuffle your deck. So you can't use Imladris Stargazer to stack your deck. But then I'm going to discard 5 cards. Okay. And I can put in something up to 8 cost if I can find them. So there's a Sigil Miner. Okay, well equipped, Imladris Stargazer. So I didn't find anything big, and that's frustrating. But nonetheless, okay. So I am going to put into play Beaufort, because I want to be able to quest. And then I think I'm going to put into play... let's see, I already have 5 dwarves out. The Sigil Miner is a quester. The Imladris Stargazer allows me to mess around with this. But I think that I want to... I think I'm going to put in the Sigil Miner, not for his mining ability, but because I want to be able to use him to quest. So that was a good exchange, or maybe not exchange, but a good, at least a good willpower boost. And then I'm going to play King Under the Mountain. And that's for 2. And King Under the Mountain lets me look at the top 2 cards. I get to put one in my hand, and then I get to discard the other. So then I'm going to exhaust King Under the Mountain. 1, 2. I'm going to put this guy in my discard pile because I have one in my hand, and then I'm going to play Well Equipped here, discard the top 2 cards, and if I get an attachment, it can go into play immediately. So there's the hidden cache. So I get 2 resources to the hero that I want to choose. So I'm going to choose Oin, because he has tactics resources, and I want to be able to pull out the Erebor Battlemaster. And now I'm going to do this. Hopefully this is an attachment. It's not. It's another copy of the Erebor Battlemaster. Okay. So I'm in good position. I could play another Sigil Miner if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Okay. In this deck, many of the cards are worth 2. So if I Sigil Mine or Ziggle Mine, you can correct me. It's going to be for 2. I would say 2, and then get a resource on somebody. But I'm not going to do that, and so. And I wasn't sad to see my copy of Will of the West because I have a copy of Will of the West. So now I'm going to quest. So I'm going to quest for 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to quest for 9, and I'm going to hope don't get any surge or anything so that at least I can use Dine to block. Okay. So questing for 6, 9, and leaving Dine. Okay. So, okay, so there's a thing. It says when white engages a player, remove 2 progress from each quest card in play. Okay, so that's 2, 6, 7. I did 9. So here's the active location, or I put 2, 3 on the active location. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be able to quest the crap out of this. So I probably have the wrong type of deck for this particular location or for this particular quest, but that's okay. Again, the time mechanic is going to go off, and this is going to be whatever. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to engage this guy, get his threat out of the staging area. Okay. It says from each quest card in play. I haven't made any progress on any quest card, so that's fine. And so now I'm going to discard. I can discard up to 3, so I'm going to discard 3 cards. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Discard 3. So now he has a defensive 6. Okay. And he doesn't get a shadow, so he's exhausted. I'm going to leave him there. Okay. So I feel like next time around I'll be able to do something to him to kill that guy. So anyways, so I'm going to ready, raise my threat, do all the good stuff. I'm going to draw a card. I get an Unexpected Courage. That is a great card for me to get right this time around. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 on him, 1 here, and 1 here. Okay, so the best all-around hero that I have right now is Thorin. So he would be the guy to do the Unexpected Courage on. So that's more important. Getting that action advantage is more important than anything. So I'm going to do the Unexpected Courage. I'm going to pay 2 there. Okay, so that doesn't leave me enough to put the Erebor Battlemaster out, but I am going to then use King Under the Mountain to draw 2 cards, 1, 2, and then I get to pick 1 and discard 1, right? Okay, so I'm going to put that. Now, the reason why I do that is because now I have a Dwarven shield. In the Dwarven shield, I pay for 2, and it allows me to use somebody as a defender who would not necessarily be a good defender. Or, and I get to put it on a hero, I guess. So I guess, I don't know. I guess I'll put it onto Thorin. So now Thorin is a good attacker. He's a good defender. If I could get a Dwarf Alpha X, that would be nice. Okay, and now I am going to Sigil Mine because I want to get 1 more resource. And I'm going to Sigil Mine. I'm going to say 2. So there's an Unexpected Courage. So there's, so I get 1 resource for each 2-cost thing. So that's 4. Okay, and I'm not sad to see those. Well, I'm kind of sad to see them leave, but I want to be able to. I have a Will of the West, so I can shuffle that back into my deck. So now, what can I do? I can play the Erebor Battlemaster for 3, And now he has an attack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's only going to get stronger, probably. Okay, at least we hope. Okay, and that is all I'm going to do for my planning, I say. Okay, so now I'm going to quest for 3, 5, 6, 8. I guess 8. Maybe 9. Okay, I'm going to quest with 9 because I can do stuff now with Thorin. I can defend with Thorin. I have the shield. He gets resources because of the Dwarven shield when he takes damage, so I'm okay. So it's good. Okay, so 9. And there's a 5. Says, raise your threat by 1 to reduce the threat of Eerie Halls by 1 until the end of phase. Okay, so I'm going to raise my threat by 1, 2, 3. I'm going to raise my threat by 3. I don't know why. It just seems like a good number. Okay, so now, so that's 2, 4, 7. I did 9. So I'm up to 5 on the active location. Okay. Okay, so next round I'm going to have to bring up my Sigil Miner. Okay, so now I can't travel. So now I'm going to deal a shadow card to this guy. I'm going to defend with Thorin. So I defend with Thorin. This guy swings for... It's +1. There's no copy of the defending character in the... I think that's a crypt. What is it? A cursed dead. Okay. So that means he swings for 5. So that means Thorin takes 3 damage because he swung for 5. He defends for 2 with the Dwarven shield. And then because he took 1 damage, he gets 1. He gets 1 resource. That's what the Dwarven shield is good for. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to swing back at this guy. I'm going to swing back for 5, 6. So I'm going to... This guy's dead. Okay, so end of turn, I'm going to ready, get resources, do all the things. Okay, so I did get a hidden cache, so I'm going to do that. It's not doing me any good in my hand, so I'm going to spend 1 resource from dying to draw a card, and I get a Dwarf Delph Axe, so that's really nice. Now, there's a Dwarven Axe and a Dwarf Delph Axe. The Dwarf Delph Axe is nicer because it's worth 1, and it gives somebody +1 attack, and it does 1 damage when you attack back. So I'm going to attach this to the Erebor Battlemaster for 1. And that's good. Okay. Now I'm going to use King Under the Mountain. I wish that was there, so I get to pick 2 here. 1, 2. Ugh! I get to put 1 in my hand. Okay. So that's a shame. Okay. It's fine. I guess I could Sigil Mine, but I'm not going to. What am I going to do? I'm going to sit tight. Okay, so now I'm going to quest. Next round may be a bigger round for me for doing stuff. So now I'm going to quest. I'm going to quest with Amarthiel. Bofer Sigil Miner. This guy, none of these guys have questing, so I'll quest here. So that's 3, 6, 8. Sorry, 3, 6, 8, 9. So I'm going to quest for 9. Okay. Quest for 9. I'm going to raise... Oh, I can do that in a minute. It says, anytime the encounter deck runs out of cards, return the topmost undead enemy in the encounter discard pile to the staging area, resetting the encounter deck. Okie doke. So, I'm questing for 9. There is 9, 14 out there. So, I'm going to raise my threat by 5. So I don't have to worry about anything. So now I'm really getting location locked, and it's really driving me nuts. Okay? So, all you veterans of this game, even though I've been playing for a while, all the veterans that were like, oh, he's going to play Treachery of Rhudaur with a Dwarf mining deck? Ooh, that doesn't look good. Okay, anyways. Okay, so I'm going to play 3 to play Keely, and that means that I can search through here and play Feely. There's Feely. Shuffle my deck. So now I'm going to play Soldier of Erebor. Actually, you know what? He doesn't help quest, so I'm gonna play the Arid Lewin Miner out of my hand, shockingly. Okay. Because he does help me quest. Okay. So now let's see. Death by 1,000 paper cuts here to this quest. One, 3. Oh, I'm going to use the King Under the Mountain. 1, 2. I will discard Hidden Cache and bring Thrower's Ring into my hand. Okay, so the Hidden Cache allows me to put 2 resources on a hero that I control. So I am going to put... Actually, I'll put the 2 onto him, and by doing that, now I'm able to play another Sigil Miner. Okay. Okay, so I should have done all that before I quested, but that's the way it's going to work. Okay, so now I have, hopefully I have enough to do some questing. So this is 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14. 14. Okay, and out here is 14. Okay. Treachery of Rhudaur deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. Each player with a threat of 35 must also discard each exhausted attachment he controls. Okay, so there's an exhausted attachment, and I deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. Okay, so that means the 2 Sigil Miners go bye-bye. Okay, and then I have a whole bunch of dwarves here. I don't even know if I have enough damage dice to do this. So I think I had to get rid of 2, so I did 6. Oh, I had to discard an exhausted attachment. That guy was exhausted. So that's still 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. And out there is 14. So I'm going to raise my threat by 3 to do 1. Actually, I'm going to raise my threat by 2 to quest even. I'm never going to get through this. I'm not going to get any of these guys. And the time counter comes off of this next round. So What can I do? Okay. Nothing. I'm getting location locked. This time counter comes off. And then what does it say? So I have to remove the Treachery of Rhudaur side quest from play. That's fine. Okay. Then 2A. It says, when revealed, add third ear to the staging area. Each player searches the encounter, discard for an undead enemy, and adds it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter. So third ear comes off. Okay, shuffle an undead. Let's see. So okay, so I'll put that guy in play. So I'm a little nervous because I didn't explore any of the side quests. That was a bit rough, but let's see what happens. Okay, so these guys are all in the staging area. This guy is staging area. Okay. Now let's see. That says, this stage cannot be defeated while third ear has any hit points remaining. If the stage is defeated, players win the game. His pursuit value has -5 quest points. Oh, no, sorry. Third ear has -5 for each clue, so I still have to quest for 30. Okay. I didn't get any of the clue objectives, so I'm stuck. Okay. So this guy's going to attack me a lot, which I'm kind of fine with. Okay, so now I get resources, draw a card, I get Feely. I think I'm going to play Will of the West. Definitely not going to do a guarded. I'm not going to do the Ring of Thror because that's going to not do anything for me. Okay. And I won't do the Soldier of Erebor. I don't need a defender right now. So what I need are questers. So I lost my Unexpected Courage, but whatever. So there's 1, 3, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. And I have 6, 10, 16, 18, 21. I'm doing 11 for 21. Guess what? It's not going to matter what this is. So this is an enemy. It doesn't have... So that's 23. I can't do anything, so I lose. I get threaded out. So, what cards were useful? What cards didn't help? I don't think I need this card in my deck. Sorry, the Erebor Battlemaster. No, I want the Erebor Battlemaster. I don't need the Soldier of Erebor. What I could use is maybe a Durin's Song, which I took out, but maybe put back in. Let's see, what else do I not need? I don't think I needed 3 Sigil Miners, so there's 2. And I don't think I need this Raiment of War. Although I do like that it's attached to a warrior character, and all these guys are warrior characters. I wonder if I have another Erebor card. I'm looking for a 5-cost anything up there. Okay, so no, I don't have another Erebor card, and I don't have another Raiment of War. So I'm going to remove this. I think I'm going to put Durin's Song in here, or maybe Lure of Moria, make it 3 of, because I was light on the questing. So I'm going to try this quest one more time to see how I'm going to do it, and if I can't beat it, then I'll bring out my Sylvans and kick the crap out of this quest. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you again.
And if you're interested in finding this or any of our back episodes of Card Talk, feel free to search YouTube, where you can find our flagship video episodes with the username Card Talk 2018. Or you can search the RSS feed, cardtalk2018.libsyn.org, for our extended audio versions of our podcast. Or you can find us on Facebook at Card Talk 2018. And if you have any questions for Grant or myself, or for both of us, feel free to email us at cardtalk2018@gmail.com.